The Kentucky Wildcats team that you and I have fallen in love with is back home against Missouri here. Do we care? I mean, we care, of course. We're excited to watch it, but like, is Missouri notable enough to get you interested in this game?
No, they're not because I think Missouri's bad. There's also some like underlying like Kentucky versus Missouri recruiting battles as of late that make this game kind of fun. Like a recruit they got coming in next year, Jaden Quintance, I believe his last name is. There's like a couple of like Kentucky has come in and been like, all right, we're Kentucky. That's cute, you're Missouri, but like, come on, he's a 5-star, he's ours. I think that's a little bit fun, but I don't think Missouri's that good. Kentucky's at home. I think this should be a fairly easy game. The only thing that makes me feel bad about that is how I just approached that because this is still a young basketball team. And everything has been, oh, these guys are like, they're going up, they're going up. Bradshaw's emerging. They did this on the road at Kentucky. I'm sorry, on the road at Florida without a Duthiero. Like everyone was feeling really good. I'm feeling really good. I'm talking about Kentucky want to be in my Final Four. And I still feel good about that. But wouldn't it be fitting after all this and after the great road win at Florida in quote unquote Florida Super Bowl, I feel like in the SEC, for them to come home and drop one to Missouri?
Yes. That's the scary part to me is I think Kentucky's struggles this year have come in the games you would say are not big games, right?
Right. Like we're feeling great, and then UNC Wilmington comes in to rup and wins.
Yeah, and like even Kansas, I know like looking back, that's the other loss, but like they jumped on Kansas early. Kentucky was up for the big game. They went to overtime with St. Joseph's, who is a fine team. They're not bad by any means, but still, that was like not a game Kentucky viewed as a huge game at the time. They viewed Miami as a huge game. They blitzed them. They viewed North Carolina as a big game. The offense was humming. They viewed Florida as a big game. They had to make the comeback, but like Kentucky has showed up every time they've seen a game as a big game. They've also shown up against lesser opponents, but the issues, the two times this season, I think you would say that's not Kentucky, were games that I don't think they cared about really coming in. Like they're like, oh, we're hooping tonight, not anything on like who's the opponent. Now, Missouri,
That's a young team thing,
yeah,
young
yeah,
like young DAs want to always get up for the big games, but
yeah. And look, Missouri is like, we're making Missouri out to be like they're a mid-major. Like Missouri, Missouri is a brand name school that I think like there's some element of like I don't want to say rivalry, but like Kentucky, Missouri, circle that on the SEC normally is a game you're excited about. The problem with this Missouri team is they're bad. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. Illinois was a blowout loss. Everything else was respectable, man. They lost by single digits against Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse. 6-point loss to Seton Hall. 7-point loss at home to Georgia in their most recent game is the one where I'm like, okay, I'm fully out on this Missouri team. Do you agree with me there?
yeah, they just don't have enough, to be honest. They don't have guys. And I like Dennis Gates as a coach, and honestly, Missouri's a team I'm going to be watching closely the next couple of years because he's really gained a lot of momentum recruiting as well, which has been impressive. But they just don't have the guys this year. I think Sean East is a really good guard, but outside of that, I don't think any other player has necessarily played that well. Like Noah Carter's inconsistent. Honor is just there and inconsistent. It's just this Missouri team just doesn't do it for me. And on the road for Missouri, I just don't have them having the confidence. To me, they don't have guys that are going to Rupp and just have like a moment. Like St. Joe's had Eric Reynolds, like he had himself a moment. The UNC Wilmington guy, his name is slipping my mind, but like he came in the Rupp, and those guys like were ready for the moment, ready for the big game to get up for it. I don't think Missouri has those guys that can come in and just have a performance and get a road win.
Is there any player on Missouri that scares you in that way?
Sean East, I think, would be the one.
What do you think if Sean East was on Kentucky? How many minutes does he play? What's his role?
He would be I mean, he is good, don't get me wrong. Like he would probably find a role, but honestly, I don't know with the guards that Kentucky has. Like he's not playing over Dillingham, he's not playing over Reed Shepard, he's not playing over Antonio Reeves, he's not playing over DJ Wagner.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he's
that's
good
it.
though.
I think it's scary for opponents when your best guard is the fifth best guard on your opponent's team. That's not good. And Kentucky does that to a lot of teams. Like I think we could go up and down the list of teams in college basketball. There's plenty of teams who would fall in the my best guard is Kentucky's fifth best guard category. The one guy I think would play on Kentucky is Noah Carter because I think he gives
You think he's
Kentucky
better than Trey Mitchell?
I think he gives Kentucky something they don't have. Like he's just different than Trey Mitchell. I think Trey Mitchell's probably a better player, but what Noah Carter does, stylistically, bigger body, like I think he would get minutes rotationally. Outside of that, like I don't think there's many guys Cal would even play on this Missouri team, which is kind of crazy to say, but they feel like a team that could have a disaster SEC season, and we look back and we're like, uh-oh, like do we have to completely rethink the Dennis Gates era now? After last season was really impressive. This season has not been that thus far, but we'll see. Kentucky, they go at Texas A&M on Saturday. I don't think Texas A&M is like necessarily the biggest game on the schedule, but do you have any like look ahead concerns here?
No, that game at Texas A&M is not big enough for the young players to look ahead.
Okay. Is anything too big for these players to look ahead? Like,
Like if they were playing at Tennessee on Saturday, I think that could be like a look ahead spot.
got it.
I don't think at Texas A&M right now is good enough to be a look ahead spot.
Got it.
They are good, but like not like they need the big flashy names for this young team. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not doing it for them.
Yeah. Okay. That scares me. I want to circle that one. And I'm seeing Ken Pom projection as Texas A&M is a 1 point underdog, home dog, 1 point.
Home dog. Whoa.
But that's for a later day. We'll have a preview of that game up later this week. Let's just make a prediction, man. I think profile wise, there's not a lot to love for Missouri in this game. I don't really know where they win. Kentucky's so good at shooting. They've been so good offensively. The Missouri defense has been their biggest issue. So like I don't know how they stop them from scoring in this game. It's not like Missouri has a big post threat that Kentucky's bigs need to worry about. And honestly, Aaron Bradshaw's been playing great anyway. He's really emerged. So to me, I feel like we should be very confident in this Kentucky team right now. Ken Pom has Kentucky by 14 points at home, expecting a big spread here. What's your prediction of what will happen in this game?
I think Kentucky will cover it. I just, like you said, I don't see an area where Missouri can take advantage of them, and everything that Kentucky does well, Missouri is bad at.
Okay. I think Kentucky might score 100 points in this game. That's my prediction. I don't know if that means they win by 40 or 10, but I think Kentucky can get to 100, and they will win the basketball game.
You think Missouri's getting to 90?
That's crazy. Shawnee's legacy game. We'll see. We'll see.
Have they had 90 points combined in their past? they are bad.
Yeah, they haven't been good. Don't get me wrong. 68 against Georgia, 92 against Central Arkansas.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
87 against Seton Hall.
They had 87 against Seton Hall?
You said it, not me, Cart. You said it, not me.
Wow.
All right. We'll be here to recap it. Click subscribe on the Sleepers channel so you don't miss any of this. Good luck, Kentucky fans.